We've extended the security and fundamental right to affordable, accessible health care to more than 10 million uninsured Americans.
I wanted to ask about the 800,000 Americans who won't be able to file their taxes on time because the government sent them incorrect tax information about insurance through healthcare.gov.
This should have no impact on the ability of people to file their taxes on time. So we're talking about a very small fraction of people who are affected.
800,000 people is not a very small amount of people.
It's a small percentage of overall tax filers. We're talking about less than 1% of people who file taxes.
Yes, but 800,000 people are getting the wrong tax information in an already very complicated scenario with Obamacare and the IRS. Reaction quickly from House Republicans and Senate Republicans. Marsha Blackburn saying, quote, surprise, surprise, the Obama administration still does not have its act together. Not that we needed it, but this is just more proof why Obamacare's insertion of the IRS into healthcare decisions of Americans was a colossal blunder. And Senator Barrasso in the Senate saying this tax filing season is the first time that many Americans will learn of the individual mandate penalty and feel its pain. The new special enrollment period won't hide the fact that Obamacare costs too much and makes it harder for Americans to get the care they need. With that, let's bring in our panel. Steve Hayes, senior writer for the Weekly Standard. Julie Pace, White House correspondent for the Associated Press, and syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer. Julie, I saw in the briefing room there, Josh Sherman is trying to say this is a small percentage of overall tax filers, yet kind of an issue with Obamacare and tax filing season.
Yeah, and it's a big number. I mean, you ask any person on the street, is 800,000 a big number? It's a big number. And the problem for the White House is that they actually are coming off a strong enrollment period here. You heard the president talking about this. They want to be out there selling the fact that 11 million people have enrolled, and every time they say that, there's going to be this asterisk that 800,000 people have had this tax issue, and it just reinforces this idea that this program has technical issues with it, and that if you are someone who enrolls, you run the risk of having some kind of issue, either with your health care or possibly with your taxes.
Steve?
Well, 1% of overall tax filers, 20% of those eligible for these credits. That's a big number. That's a high percentage. I think the problem, among the many problems beyond just the numbers of this, is that this comes as we're learning that the back end of the Obamacare, the healthcare.gov website, is still not built. I mean, it seems to me that should be a bigger story than it already is. The fact that more than a year later, after the debacle that was the Obamacare rollout, the back end of the Obamacare website is still not built. According to Reason Magazine's Peter Suderman, you still have insurance companies making their calculations manually a year beyond the original rollout. That's a huge story in and of itself. This just adds to the problems.
Added to that, you have the Urban Institute, Charles, which says that 4 in 10 of uninsured really still don't get that they're going to be penalized when they don't sign up for insurance this year.
Which is why the administration has unilaterally created a new enrollment period, contrary to what's written in the law. This is, we lost the count of the number of times the White House and the administration have revised their own law unlawfully, because it's supposed to be done by Congress. And this is yet another example of the law's complexity and difficulty, leading to consequences which were utterly predictable. So many people are going to get the penalty sort of unbeknownst, and are going to be surprised. And it's also a reflection of the unbelievable complexity of a law that was intended to remake 1/6 of the American economy, and as a result you get the glitches, you get the incompetence, and now you're going to get this unilateral creation of a new period that is nowhere in the law and is of extremely dubious legality.